Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, The New Powerpuff Girls, and Archer. I am Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
And Sam Quattro. Steven Universe is back!
It's been so long.
Yay! And today we'll be discussing the first two episodes of whatever this stupid week is called, Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill.
It's
not
in too deep.
In too deep. Yeah, it's a 4-week event.
Just like every Thursday?
Yeah, it's just going to be every Thursday at 7. It's great. Only 2 episodes this week, though. So, yeah, Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill. And, we cover Steven Universe, our main coverage show here on the Overly Animated Podcast. We're here big on the coverage. And now we have a soundboard, too. Yay, introducing the soundboard. Yes! Happy.
Wow, we're that much closer to being a radio show.
Yes, exactly. That much more. So yeah, we cover overlyanimated.com. We cover everything Steven Universe. We're going to talk these 2 episodes briefly. I'll get into it more at the end, but we're recording a feedback voicemail show on Saturday morning. Please, for more details on that, go to overlyanimated.com/feedback. You could leave us voicemails for that show, and we'll play them when I talk with Justin on Saturday morning. Okay, let's get into Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill, and we'll see how the soundboard comes into play as we go along. But let's talk these 2 huge episodes. We have 2 on one night, probably too much to discuss. What are your general impressions of both these episodes and Steven Universe being back, Delaney?
Well, it's super excitement for Steven Universe to be back. Very exciting. I come home and Mom's like, "Oh my God, I hate this show. Why do we have to watch this?" I told her to shut up. We sat there and watched it. It was awesome. And I was just not prepared to see the Watermelon Stevens, at all. Zero prep. Because Delaney has not seen any spoilers, so I had no idea.
Well, you saw the trailer, so you saw them in
But
the
I
trailer.
wasn't expecting the entire episode to be the water.
Yeah, that's true.
I was just I wasn't paying enough attention to the trailer. There was a lot going on in the trailer. I did not notice the Watermelon Steven. And this entire episode, it was amazing. Watermelon Steven. It was so great. Their civilization it's just incredible. I have some mixed feelings.
I mean, that's your big takeaway, is the Watermelon Steven civilization from these 2 episodes. That's the big takeaway?
To be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed by the second episode. By Gem Drill. It's exactly what I thought.
No.
But I'm underwhelmed.
Negatory!
I don't know about that.
This is awful.
I don't like sound. I have regrets about the.
To be fair, we had several prep podcasts leading up to this comeback. We were predicting what would happen, and Delaney kind of nailed everything that happened. So I guess she deserves that reaction. Sam, what are your general feelings about Steven Universe?
The Watermelon Stevens, super cute. I love them. Mm-hmm. They're amazing. I agree with Delaney. I was kind of underwhelmed by the Gem Drill one.
Now.
Okay.
What is that? What is that one even saying?
That's Paradox.
It sounds like she's saying meow.
It sounds like she's meowing.
Yeah, I don't know if that works.
But
okay, keep going.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a good comeback to just come back to that being the thing that we see for first time in months. But it makes me wonder where we're headed from here in this. Into deepness. We have only scratched the surface.
Going deeper.
We kind of went as deep as is physically possible, and beyond what was physically possible in this episode. So, that's underwhelmed by the second episode. Oh my goodness! It was crazy. It was so much happening.
Look.
Him,
Steven going, "I love you," and then thanks was solid. That was great.
I didn't expect to be the one defending the weird abstract plotline of this episode, but come on,
it just was underwhelming.
That the drill is resolved so quickly and with such a do ex machina.
Put it in a bubble.
I should have a sound.
Yeah, just like you saying it wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should be.
Yeah. Okay, so, come on, that can't be the primary. Excitement.
Paradox is cute.
Yes!
It's
great. That should be the reaction.
Leading into, when they're drilling down, they built the anticipation so well, and we have the mutants, and we're talking about, Steven's like having his misgivings, and it's great, and it's like the LOL, it's a video game controller, and he's shooting the mutants. Like, this is great. And then Peridot and Steven
controller.
Yep.
But then
why don't you try the D-pad then? Yeah, that was great.
And then of course Peridot being worried, like, are you okay? What's going on? Is it the vibrations? Like, and then Steven transcends this plane of existence and just starts talking to the gym clusters. Like, it's amazing. It's just when it's the bubble, it's like, oh, and they all bubble each other. It was just like, it was fine. Like leading up to the episode was amazing. Okay. It's just like the moment, like the end of the episode was just like, oh, okay.
I wonder if this will be a general fandom reaction, or if people will be generally positive. We're recording this right after the episode airs, so we don't really know the reaction yet.
We've had this build up to the cluster. Like, it's the cluster. Isn't that on the soundboard? Does that exist?
The cluster? I don't know. I don't have the cluster.
It's amazing. And like so much build up, and it's so much build up the cluster, and then it's like, oh, bloop, literally, like it's a bubble sound, bubble, and then. But it's different from, like, the build-up to, like, we've been waiting to see a diamond. We've been waiting to see Yellow Diamond for forever. And then it happens, like, oh my god, it's Yellow Diamond! And it was we didn't expect how it to happen. It was incredible. This is I literally predicted that this was going to happen. It was not hard to figure out. And then also, it's just, like, it's a bubble. So, which makes me consider that something has to go horrifically wrong in the next episode. But as of right now, it's like, oh.
You clod!
Okay, let me defend the gem drill quickly. Okay, I'm using these sounds kind of just.
I hate this.
I'm really done with sound.
It's just like a super way of just you cutting people off.
Okay. I need to work on the
like
usage
your
of
judge
it.
hammer.
Right. But
judge hammer.
I feel like I'm speaking for the people here, okay. So I need to defend Gem Drill, which I thought might have even been the superior of the two episodes. Like, there's so much here. They just hit on so many incredible abstract comments. I mean, credit to Delaney, who called a lot of the stuff we're getting into. This is literally, not literally, it's literally, meaning figuratively, our Aang and Ozai moment from the Avatar finale. Just in almost every respect, Steven just saying, I don't want to kill the thing that we have to kill that's destroying the Earth, and then coming up with another way to do it. But, like, this is kind of so much better than the Aang and Ozai, because this has so much meaning behind it, I feel like. I mean, look, there's no precedent towards Steven being able to talk to the cluster and the people within it. The bubbling stuff makes sense, I think, with Steven's powers. Hit me up.
Like...
Well, I don't know if him being able to, like, passing out and talking to
the bubbling did.
The bubbling, I think, makes sense. But, like, and we'll get into it, and it's not necessarily, and I don't care, like, I just saw the episode, who knows yet, whether it's something I'll be upset about, but just the ramifications, like, thematically for this show, I feel like is so much more what I'm taking away from this episode. We have, like, what don't we get into this episode? We have Peridot, like, talking about how she was made. We have them talking about literally, we had a debate on one of the recent seniors roundtables, are the gem clusters sentient, sapient? And we have Peridot saying, no, they're not sapient, and then Steven, like, reforming their sapience, basically. Just so much incredibly cool conceptual stuff, and it's certainly valid to question whether it was executed well, but at the very least, this is, like, one of the most fascinating episodes of the show.
I 100% agree.
Also, of course, Super Watermelon Island too. Okay, the bubbling thing.
It's like he literally bubbled the core. Like, it's just like, that's the part. It's like, LOL. What if he bubbles it? No, that's what he did. Like, oh, okay.
Isn't this, like, such an expected outcome? Like, we've had bubbling on the show. We've had Chekhov's bubble for, like, so many episodes, and we've never really done too much with bubbling. I mean, I think this has been set up. Like, I think it goes along with Steven's powers. I think that we literally have a mechanism sitting there on the show, in which is the solution to I don't want to kill Ozai. You bubble Ozai, like, and it's just been there like all this time.
It can make sense, but it's also boring. Like, this wasn't like, we have this build up to the cluster, and, like, we have all these super cool, like, promos for the cluster. We have all this, like, literally all this stuff, all these episodes, all this conflict over the cluster, and then he just bubbles it. Like, it can all make sense. It's just boring. It's not exciting. Like, it was the episode's fine, and yes, all the abstract stuff is incredible. Like, what is this? What's Steven's a bit like? Steven's like psychic. He can like go like he's a telepath. Like, what is Steven doing? What part of this has to do with his abilities? Like, this is all incredible. It's just like he bubbles the planet, and it's like, oh, okay. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think there's two things, which is one that there's a point in the episode when I do feel like it was slightly anticlimactic with the bubbling. Like, I felt like just the pacing in terms of leading up to that, it didn't feel like it was the resolution, the climax in that moment. So I think in terms of execution, I did react slightly, I don't know, not super hyped towards when I feel like I should have been. But in terms of like, I feel like the clusters for me has always been a conflict which came up very quickly, was very abrupt, one was never really super important. So like the cluster conflict, even if this is the end, which who knows, like maybe the bubble can pop, right? If this is the end of the cluster as like a presence on the show, I don't know if I care that much because I was never super invested in like, oh my god, the cluster, it's going to kill everyone. Like, I feel like the show has done somewhat of an appropriate amount of like not hyping. I mean, we basically had 7 episodes in a row where we didn't really care about the cluster at all. And it was more about Peridot, and I was much more invested in the Peridot arc than the cluster and stuff like that. So I don't know. I didn't care that much.
Well, but the thing is, like, when you have something that it's literally something inside of the Earth that can erupt and destroy the entire planet, it's just, I mean, it deserves a little bit more, like, something to it than he bubbles it. And, like, it's fun.
I mean, I do feel like this is one of the biggest episodes of the show in terms of, like, the cluster deserves. I do agree that you should. It did feel fast, yeah. Right?
Like, it's just a little, like, I honestly kind of felt like I was watching, aside from, like, the abstract thought and things and all this stuff, but, like the last, I'm going to say 2 minutes. That might not be accurate. It's hard to gauge when you have an 11-minute show, but when, like, from the bubble, like, it kind of felt like an early episode of the show when it wasn't necessarily hitting all the high marks all the time, because he bubbles and then it's like, oh, you bubbled it? Like, okay. It's just like, it was like all of this incredible thematic world building, dealing with Peridot character, all the stuff going in, and then he bubbles it, and it was like, oh, they just wanted company? Okay, like, that's fine. If they explore it more, maybe I'll be happier about it. It feels kind of rushed, a little bit unearned, and it's just, I didn't like it. Like, it was just, oh, okay. Like, it had.
Sam, what's your take on it?
I just don't understand bubbling enough. I don't, because, like, okay, so here Steven was, like, describing it as being, like, you know, keeping them safe, and, like, but then it turned into being, like, you know, people, but, like, gem shards, like, finding gem shards that they liked, and, like, being in the bubble with them. But then previously we see it as, like, keeping the Earth safe, and, like, keeping, like, almost like a prison. And I just, like,
they use them to protect. Yeah.
I just, like, don't really understand. Maybe it's like a Pokeball.
Exactly, yeah. No, like, but you can bubble gems, right, and it, like, puts them in a suspended state of animation. So Steven started bubbling individual gem shards, which are basically just gems combined, and then eventually they bubble all the individual pieces, and it, like, kabooms into one giant bubble surrounding all of it.
A lot bigger than individual pieces, but okay.
Well, I took it because
I think that
Steven had was that Steven made the giant bubble. Like, they were, like, he was pushing them along.
Right. I think what they were going for is Steven was helping them all. Yeah, Steven was, like, helping them all to bubble themselves. Yeah.
I don't feel like bubbling is a mechanic that I really truly understand, because they seem to use it for, like...
It is something they haven't really explained. That's true. They have used it for a while, though. Anyway, we'll come back to this. Let's stay for a second and talk about Super Watermelon Island.
So great.
I didn't like the first Watermelon Steven episode, but I like this one because they're cute.
Yeah, I mean, we've been discussing this for a while because we've had the clip from this episode for forever, but like the decision to combine this, like, weird season 1, like, plot where like things that don't really relate to the overall plot make sense, and put it with this big thing we've been waiting for forever to have happen, which is, like, the resolution of Malachite. What was your reaction to this fight scene and to the end of it separating Lapis and Jasper? And we spent all this time talking about what's Jasper going to do, and Jasper just falls into the earth.
We didn't see.
I don't know. That's a good question. We didn't see. If Jasper was dead, I think we would have seen
what's going to happen.
happening.
No, here's Jasper's going to pop the bubble. That's what's going to happen.
She's like,
or is Jasper inside the bubble? Did she fall all the way
I
to the
actually considered that. I was like, is she? Oh, she's going to be at the cluster. Oh no.
I know I said that somewhat sarcastically, but that could be a thing. Like she could be in the cluster. Delaney? What do you think of this huge fight scene between Malachi and Alexandra?
It's an awesome fight scene, like excellent fight, and it's so great. Just I love me some fusions, good stuff. And it was just a good fight scene. We haven't really. I mean, again, it's been a really long time, but like we haven't really had like a fight scene kind of like this before. Like it's kind of a unique fight scene, and it's just neat. And then like it was really cool. The arrow, like just all the animation was great. And then of course we have like, as my dad pointed out, we have the Ewoks on Endor come to save the day.
That's true. Actually, those were
cute.
Like so great. And I don't know, it all worked really well. Like even though it was kind of silly, like the watermelons were, fighting, but it all worked out. And then, I don't know, it just, somehow it worked. And it was just great. And I do enjoy that, like, they split them, and it was just, all of it was great.
I wonder if the Cartoon Network shop has, like, watermelon Steven plushies.
I would want one.
Would you buy a watermelon Steven plushie? Sam, what do you think of the fight in this episode?
I thought it was good. I don't know. Does Alexandrite have, like, a separate voice actress? I think she does. I'll look it up later. I don't know. I thought it was good. It was very interesting that Steven just like do that. Just like go to sleep just go to sleep and become a watermelon. I wonder how that works.
Also, they like communicated it so well that like they don't have to tell us so much that he's clearly Steven as the watermelon. And they literally don't talk.
Yeah, that was good.
It's like watching a Lego video game, like one of the older ones. Like they do it well. It's very good.
Yeah, we need to talk about the Steven's powers, I think, a little bit, because I think this is a new. I don't know if it's been
even leveled up.
But Steven, like, being able to telepath into the watermelon and then being able to telepath to talk to the cluster. I feel like these are related things.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're kind of overplaying their hand a little bit, like to show us this, which it's a good thing to do though when they're showing us something like this. Like it is a good idea to like kind of like be heavy-handed with look what Steven can do, because then in another episode they can be like they can talk about it. So I guess
we should have predicted that this might happen, because there's like we knew that this was from the preview or whatever, the spoilers, we knew that half of the crew is going to be at the Watermelon Island, which they named
just like Mask Island.
I don't know that was a name for that island, but and Steven and Peridot are going to be back, and then have to deal with the drill thing. But it's like, how do we see what happens on Mask Island when Steven's not there, because the show's Steven's protected? So once again, they kind of take a interesting narrative wraparound through this new Steven power. So I wonder if this power was, I mean, I assume this was conceived not as a solution to this narrative dilemma. But yeah, it is certainly interesting. Like, how they used it to explain the Steven being there. I thought it was very successful in Super Watermelon Island. Yeah,
I really.
Yeah, I think the fight was interesting. I think the most notable thing is Alexandrite, all the weapons coming out and stuff like that. Definitely like the highlight for a fight for the three of them fused and four of them fused, and I think the Watermelon Steven Society, it's interesting, like how expectations, the spoiler clip like didn't include the beginning, so we're missing all this context to all the awesome facets of their civilization. That's like the big thing that we missed from the beginning of this episode. But it's really wonderful. Yeah, everything involving that was surprisingly really good, and them attacking Malachi was great. I think if there's going to be criticisms of Super Watermelon Island, I think it's going to be that this episode is like, where's the depth?
It's
I think
cute.
that's.
It's cute.
It's definitely like it's a flashy, cute episode. But the question is like, is this episode satisfactory towards ending this Malachite fusion? Like, there's a lot of discussion about how like who's in control of this. Are they becoming to one and the same? And I feel like to a certain extent they kind of abandoned it a little bit because it's more of a back and forth in the episode, and it's not really like they're one and the same. So I was a little bit unenthused with how they ended Malachite.
Well, I think it makes sense, though. I think that we have to separate them first before we can really get into it. Like, it makes sense. Like, we're gonna have to really deal with it this way.
That's true. We could, yeah, we might get into it later.
Would you think that Lapis Lazuli is Toph?
Why?
I don't know. I feel like if Peridot is Zuko, Lapis has to be Toph, right?
Okay. This is you're bringing back something from earlier. Yeah. I guess. Lapis,
and then Jasper's like a Zula.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, I think that potentially. So it sounds like you guys like Super Watermelon Island more than Jam. What do you guys think of Super Watermelon Island as true or false, Delaney?
I would say overall, but like I enjoyed the episode more, but I think obviously Jim Drill has like a lot more depth to it. But I was going to say that, like, sure. we have to have Super Watermelon Island for Jim Drill to work the way it does, not just because they literally aired them next to each other, but because what we're talking about being heavy-handed with his telepathy. Like, we have to have, like, an episode like that to, like, kind of slowly worm our way, like, settle us into this, like, look what Steven can do kind of deal. Like, they have to kind of, like, beat it down a little bit.
Well, he does it before in, like, a Shilteed.
Yeah. Yeah.
True. Okay. Yeah. Chilteed. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. So I guess that, I don't know if it was as clear in that episode that this was like a power, right? Like it could have just been. Yeah, I guess it was clear. I don't know. I was willing to overlook that because it didn't really matter.
Well, it's
but
also
now,
really hard when like the way they air the show to remember things that happen.
Yeah, like that episode was years ago.
It was almost literally a year ago.
Yeah, it literally was. So. This power for Steven definitely gonna be an interesting topic to discuss. I think I mean, Super Watermelon Island very very solid. I think Malachite and Steven's power and Jasper just going into the ground are kind of the big talking points.
Also, it's really funny because you're like, what are we gonna do with Jasper? It literally just falls into the earth. I'm like, hey.
We had this whole discussion, and everyone commented on it, and then she just falls into the ground.
Very unceremoniously.
I mean, I think it's telling because they could only react like once the tremor happens. They had to react, and they grabbed Lapis first.
It's pretty obvious that's like a setup for Jasper to like do something.
Yeah. Jasper not going to be happy with them. Yeah. Why didn't you save me? And now she's going to come out like super deformed or something, maybe. Okay, let's get back into Gem Drill. Let's go through this outline because I feel like there's so much.
Oh, by the way, Malachite, the sound that Malachite made when she unformed was the sound of a Pokeball opening. By the way,
says Sam, our Pokemon expert. True.
Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Yeah. Which of the new starter Pokemon is Peridot?
Maybe the cat.
Is she the owl, the seal, or the
seal.
stupid cat? The cat's pretty. So why is it a cat? Okay,
I like the owl.
Yeah, Peridot's the cat though.
Yeah.
I think right. The fire cat. Someone firebends in this episode, right? Who firebends? Oh, Alexandrite. Like I think firebends. I don't remember which either the outline.
Breathes fire.
So she breathes fire. She like opposite blossoms. Yeah. So, or Azula, or I guess it's the Ozai.
No, it's Ira, bro.
Oh, yeah, it's Ira.
Dragon of the West.
And Dragon of the West. They all do it, I think. Do they?
Ozai does it when he's, like, chained. He just starts, like, roaring.
Ozai definitely.
I don't know if he did it for, like,
an
attack.
I forgot what I was going to say. So let's talk about Gem Drill. So, just so many notable Peridot quotes. I feel like Peridot maybe
the most quotable.
Is like maybe too good and too quotable.
Peridot's too perfect.
No, how am I supposed to remember any awesome things she said this episode when she just constantly says interesting things? Like,
What was the thing she
honestly,
said? Like one of the first things she said, it was like, "Tell me everything's gonna be okay and that we're gonna do great." And then Steven says that, and then she's like, "You're lying." Sounds like something I would say.
Yeah, I think so.
Also, this episode
like seriously,
this really seems to be like Peridot's episode. Really, to me, like this is like the summation of Peridot's character almost, like what Peridot has become, and it's just kind of incredible, and it's kind of subtle almost in a way, like how like the way Peridot is in this episode. Like this is the Peridot we have now, and it's just kind of amazing.
Yeah, it definitely is a bit like what Peridot is now, and we still explore her character a little bit too, which is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's like I think this episode clearly says Peridot's part of the team. It's established. That being said, we didn't change the opening.
Maybe we'll change it next episode.
With Lapis. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if Lapis is joining too, then we might as well just...
and Pearl and Peridot and Lapis.
Peridot and Lapis.
And Steven.
Steven, yeah. And then maybe Jasper. She's in the middle of the earth, so. Is it Jasper's Azula?
I said that earlier, yes.
We've only said it 4 times now.
So.
Am I the only one who understands the meaning of teamwork?
Yeah, that's
if I made the soundboard, I would put that on there.
Yeah, well, I didn't. That just happened, so I didn't have to put that on the soundboard yet.
A crystal gem.
Oh God,
that's relevant. I think that's like not even a surprise anymore, though, because she's just like that's the point we're saying, right? She's just like a crystal gem, and she accepts it. Yeah, the meaning of teamwork thing was really good. Don't say that. Say we're going to do it together, and it's going to be great.
Liar.
It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, that line read was really good. 2 Marios to the cluster, tunes. So we had this debate.
Music they had going, it's just like awful.
We need to analyze Steven's eyes. We'll talk about this more in the voicemail segment, but I think me and Michelle basically yelled at Justin on one of these podcasts because he said that the eyes were the Jill just ending, and we said no, that they were waves. So we might need to apologize to Justin in the voicemail segment. Anyway, Peridotites. Made as the same stuff as Peridots. You were made on Homeworld. I didn't exist, then I did. I know I could never go back to Homeworld, but it's hard not to have some feelings about where you came from. But I have you guys now. She basically says really awkward thing. So Sam, I think we got our biggest evidence for the alternate Earth theory in a while with this Peridotite stuff. Yeah. Peridots made from stuff in the Earth.
Is there actually Peridotite in the Earth? We need to look that up.
I couldn't.
I mean, we could Google this. This is. We could find this information.
I mean, they were saying an actual thing like it was. They're saying it very fast, but yeah. Gem mutants. Peridot, I never leave home without a blast cannon. Something doesn't feel right about this. Then use the D-pad. That was pretty wonderful.
It's funny because the D-pad sucks.
If I could just bubble them, then it'd be the same.
Foreshadowing.
They're too broken. Yeah. Well,
what if we just glued the Fire Lord's hands behind his back so he couldn't bend it anymore? Literally what happened.
This, yeah. I mean, so props to Delaney, literally brought up that we talked about how Steven is Aang, and this is literally that was our finale.
Y'all were
conflict.
like, no.
I feel like I came around to it. I don't know. They're two broken beings, don't know who they are or what's happening around them, seek out other gems, looking for missing pieces, trying to make themselves whole. These are like 2 or 3 shards, the cluster is millions.
Billions.
Yeah. Last words, I love you, Peridot. Aw, yeah.
Thanks.
Struggling to take form, don't think should hurt the cluster, doesn't know what it's doing, doesn't matter if it knows what it's doing, it's still going to do it.
Even your empathy is going to get you killed someday.
Yeah, except he has a magical shield, so no. So no. Is the increased vibration causing damage to your head holes? Yeah, we need that was interesting, because I think that's related to his power, right? So
Peridot cares.
I don't know what's going on. Triple tip penetration mode. We didn't talk about that. Don't understand what's happening. Soul. Yeah, Steven just seeing all these like gem soul faces.
I thought he was
very
dying.
abstract. This whole.
Like I thought he died.
Dead. Show's over.
Or I thought he had like retreated into his gem. Like that finally happened.
Oh yeah, that'd be interesting. We were another pre-season roundtable topic was discussing whether Steven can regenerate or not. Yeah, probably not because his body is human. So, you want to what form? Yeah, this whole thing. It's not going to make sense when we talk about it because it didn't make.
Their
sense
outline
exactly.
barely makes sense.
Well, I was just writing down what happened on the show. Gosh. Forming won't help find the rest of yourself. So many of you right here, shards talking to each other. You already have so much to talk about. Don't need to form, can just stay here. Can't stop. Bubble, you won't have to come out individual bubble shards. Well, that's 5. Peridot, Steven wakes up. It doesn't want to form bubble, they're bubbling each other.
Blah,
We've all
blah,
read each
blah,
other
blah,
bubbles.
blah.
Oh.
And then they come back up, and is Lapis okay? And Lapis is there. Yeah, we didn't even talk about Lapis is now
dead.
just there. Like, this is huge. Lapis is not dead. Stop.
We can joke about
did you destroy the
dead, but
cluster?
heaven forbid Lapis.
Neither is obviously not.
Why didn't Lapis retreat back
that
into her
was
gem?
That was a double negative. That's okay. Did you destroy the cluster? No, I talked to
that
you.
was the best. No, I
now.
talked to you. A+.
Literally
I
the most
said.
Steven line ever.
So good.
A bajillion people. How on earth
love
did you
Pearl.
bubble that whole thing?
Pearl.
That Pearl line was great, yeah.
Sam.
That was the most Steven thing. I forgot that the most we talked about this in the spoilers, but the most Steven universe thing ever was the female watermelon Steven going off to the war, saying
The
goodbye to
husband and the kids.
the husband and it was staying with the kid. Literally the most Steven universe thing I've
good.
ever seen in my entire life. And yeah, it was also very good. They also set it up earlier though. Like, we didn't have the context of the beginning from like the guy came home and stuff, and the watermelon village elders.
I love them all. I want one.
There's dog, chicken.
How does this happen?
Yeah,
It's so perfect.
I would want the watermelon dog blush. That's the one I would want.
My brother was like really concerned during the fight because he was like, and as long as nothing happens to the watermelon dog, it'll be okay.
Yeah, but the watermelon dog. Yeah, but the watermelons then just get like sliced into watermelon pieces.
Do they eat them, or is that like cannibalism going on?
Yeah, I don't think they would eat
I
them.
don't really like watermelon that much.
I don't either.
Oh my god!
What's that shot? What?
Shocking.
No!
Oh my
No,
god.
that's not a
Negatory.
no. Watermelon's great. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. What else are we hitting on here? So I don't know. Gem Drill's gonna one that we need some time to sit on before we talk about it a lot. I was trying to skim the AV Club review while it was coming out. He gave Gem Drill an A and Super Watermelon an a B+. But yeah, it's Gem Drill. I don't know. Very, very interesting episode. Interesting that it's not done by Joe and Jeff. The first episode done by our main storyboarding crew, and this one done by Paul and Raven, which is interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is controversial. You guys think that Gem Drill is worse? I tried to get this answer out of you.
Okay, worse. I don't know, but I definitely felt more drawn to the watermelon one.
I agree with Sam here.
But you don't like watermelon.
Okay, I don't like to eat watermelon. Doesn't mean I don't like to look at it.
Exactly. Slam dunk. You can't even argue
What?
with that logic, Dylan.
What?
Boom.
That's right, you dirt bomb!
That's the same thing.
Wow.
That's
You
what-
call me a dirt bomb?
Yeah. No, that's what you said to
That
us.
is not what I
That's
just
you were
said.
saying.
I literally.
Also, doesn't
Yeah,
work.
it is.
Dylan, you just like burned yourself. How can you do that with the soundboard? Is this your new power? Like, you can like, sick burn yourself? Like,
Yes, yes!
God.
Yes, I can.
Wubba lubba dub dub.
yes!
Okay,
Okay,
that's
I'm
what
happy now.
Save
I'm
me.
happy now.
Okay. What else? Yeah, I don't know. I think Gem Drill's great. We'll talk about it. Let's close by talking about like where we are now. So Lapis is with the crystal gems. Jasper's in a hole in the ground, literally, and the cluster's bubbled. We're kind of at a stable point, right? Jasper's MIA.
Do you think the next episode's going to be a filler? It might be.
Really?
I don't know. Next episode is not Barn Mates, by the way, so that's notable. That's one of the episodes we have a clip from.
What's
so I don't know
on
what
that
happens in the meantime, but
clip?
Maybe it would be nice to kind of have like a sit down episode
spoilers.
to talk about Steven's like powers, like this new thing that we're kind of talking about. So
Yeah, okay, so here's what I want. I want Steven's powers talked about, right? That needs to be
Garnet
addressed. We want to
sits
talk
him
about
down,
bubbling the
and
cluster.
they have the
of it.
talk, and it's just the telepath talk. We have to tell you something.
Oh, that's true. I feel like Garnet can get in
Be
on
good
this,
stuff.
We need a Garnet quote for the soundboard.
This
I don't know if
is
we have
Mum
any.
Universe.
But,
oh no,
Mum
they are
Universe,
dead.
Yeah, no, that one.
is this
They're
what Pearl was
bleeding.
like when Steven came back? Oh, wait, no, it didn't work. Is that what Pearl was like when... Yeah.
Sure. I think
anyway,
the thing that needs to happen, Sam needs to sit down and come up with these, because your options are... They're
I'm
limited.
open to suggestions. Yeah, no, I know I have a lot more. I've limited it for this.
Sam's
going to
handpick some.
I'm just on a little...
That's fine. Shout out to patron Ryan who grabbed a lot of these quotes for me.
And to think he's paying us.
Work, yeah. Okay, don't put it like that. Patrons are allowed to help.
Sorry, Ryan.
But yeah. So we're kind of stable, right? So here's the wish list. Steven addressing his powers. I want Lapis stuff, obviously. How's Lapis going to react to everything? Oh, by the way, Peridot, notable Peridot quote from episode 1, episode 2. She was like, I could barely, just being on a ship with Jasper made me
hilarious.
tired, she said. So I thought that they were like tight.
She's
but
a
no, they're not tight.
Yeah.
So she's a Zool, yeah. Yes, but yeah, it's interesting that. So I wonder how Peridot's going to react to Lapis, obviously, hashtag Lapidot, and how Lapis is going to react to everyone else, and I don't know, what else do we have to address? Like the bubbling.
Joke kind of flip around scene where like Lapis has locked herself in the bathroom, and Peridot's like dealing with it. Like I kind of want something like that, just for like the 30-second joke of it, and then they can get serious about it. Like I need it to be a thing where like they have these new gyms and they just like lock themselves in Steven's bathroom. Like, I need it to be a thing.
Yeah, that could be. I don't know if I think that's too.
It'd be funny for 10 seconds.
too
It just
not-
lasts 10 seconds. I think it'd be quality.
I don't think that's in character for Lapis.
It's really funny though. It'd be so good.
I think Lapis is just.
I want to get to the point where we hear that song, the What We Really Are. Well,
That's not
it
gonna
will
be
be
a
a
thing
thing
for
someday.
Better be.
I mean, it's in the as we discussed, it's just a part of the extended open, so it doesn't.
Okay, well,
necessarily
Dylan,
appear
I
in the
wasn't
show.
on that, and I don't listen to podcasts. I'm not on Dylan.
Okay, well, yeah, it's not gonna. It's just a part of the extended open. What else? What else we got? Any other wish list items for coming up?
More Pearl.
I don't know. There's a lot of stuff.
I'm expecting. I want ramifications
yeah.
of the bubble.
Yeah, you would think that a giant bubble you would think that a giant cluster in the core of our Earth would have an effect. So I don't know if a bubble being there changes.
I don't know. Like, I want more to it because it's just, they wanted company. Like, no, I want more about the clusters, about the cluster and the gem shards. Like, because my thing is like, yeah, he saved the Earth. The thing is like, are the gem shards really safe? Are they really are they gonna be happy? Like, what can we do for the gem shards? Like, I want a little bit more about that. Like, let's talk about it some.
Next episode, same old
Our
world.
alternate Earth theory.
Yep, it's going to be confirmed next week.
Probably not.
Hashtag yeah.
That's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just all Peridot, all of them.
Yeah, it's just all Peridot, yeah. Because, like I said, she's like too quotable. Like, I honestly just don't even know what to do with all of her life. I was really struggling to transcribe.
We should have
everything she said.
the High
There's a lot.
Zuko here.
There's a lot we need to get, yeah.
We
There's
just need
there's
to
infinite
get the
Avatar.
collage back.
Okay, yeah, I was working on this if you missed it on the page.
I didn't miss it.
was-
I just was suggesting it to the people who are not in that group.
Anyway. Okay, so okay, you have reactions to what we talked about here? Good. Let's send them in, voicemail, who's right, who's wrong, what's the reaction to Gem Drill, Steve Bubbling the Drill, overlyanimated.com/feedback. We actually have an actual number set
how
up
did
now
you
to
do
send
that?
voicemails, which I'm magic. And you can call before Saturday morning Eastern United States time, 301-960-8674. It'll go straight to voicemail. Leave your message under 30 seconds. We'll play it on our voicemail podcast. Me and Justin will get into this and talk about behind Sam and Delaney's backs, how wrong they really were
yell
about
at me. No,
Gem
I
Drill.
want y'all to be like, Delaney's stupid. Do it. I want to hear it.
One of us. Yeah, I really don't know what the fandom reaction is yet. All I know is what the Eric Thurm on the AV Club's reaction is. That's all I know.
Or congratulate me because I
there you
predicted
go.
everything that happened. Either's fine.
You did. I mean, obviously, props for that, yes. And it just, so much here. We'll continue to get into it on our feedback podcast on Saturday. Other contests coming up tonight, also up, new Powerpuff Girls discussion, Archer discussion. Feedback coming up Saturday afternoonish and recording it Saturday morning, though, so get them in by the end of Friday night. And you can also send us emails and stuff, by the way, overlyanimated.com/feedback to see all the options. Those are all on the table. And me and Delaney talking about Ladybug on Sunday morning. Final comments on Super Watermelon Island and Gem Drill for now, before we discuss the episodes again on Saturday. But
Watermelons are so cute.
I'm trying to find the perfect sound clip.
Same.
You want more?
I want more tomorrow, but apparently that's...
More Steven Universe?
I will make no such
Well,
promises.
you're not the
Yeah, I can't
network,
promise that.
Dylan.
Well, that's what Cartoon Network is. This is Cartoon
I will
Network.
make no such promises.
Literally about every single decision that they might have to make is that.
Also.
Oh, I should have said this about the watermelon dog.
Where'd you come from, little cutie?
Oh,
Yes.
I think that would
where
have
did
been
you come
a
from?
reaction. Okay. About all the watermelons. So they're just still there, by the way. So maybe we'll have to revisit the Steven watermelons. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We will
It's
see
Dylan's
you
birthday
next
tomorrow.
time.
No, you didn't do
Bye.
the patrons.
Oh, wow. I didn't do any of that. Okay, JK. False bottom.
It's
Thank you,
Dylan's
Sam.
birthday
I'm not gonna edit
tomorrow. It was my birthday earlier this
thanks,
week,
Rizal.
and I also graduated.
Yeah,
Thanks.
happy birthday, Sam. And happy graduation, Sam. Shayna, Mitch, Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, and Catherine, a.k.a. Hannah, Fever, Mitch, Cordell, Lucy, Beatrice, Nate, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel Rose, Johnny Brown, Brian, and Cookie Cat, overlyanimated.com, patreon.com/overlyanimated, everything about our ad-free podcast. No one's listening anymore because
I feel
said
like
we were
you need to
stopping,
you need to like pre-record all of that and just slap it on.
Soundboard.
No. I guess I could slap. Oh yeah. Oh, I can just put stuff on the soundboard now. Yeah. I could just
Do it
record
like
me saying it
Microsoft
slowly and just
Sam.
put it on.
Like
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
it is a good idea.
Except it does seem.
Soundboard.
Yeah,
What?
Jake-
What?
J.K. Tenson. That's like actually a really good one.
That doesn't seem like a good idea.
That is a lot of effort. That
You
is a
should
good
put
idea. Yeah. There's a
You
lot
should
of.
put this is just another ploy to get more power.
Yeah, why is that one on there?
Yeah. We're working on that. Yeah. It's because I said I was going to do
Like,
that
that
one, and I
one-
haven't.
that
done
has
it yet. That's why. There's a lot. I have a lot more we're not using yet. Like, come on. So there you go. And no, I feel like I'm gonna save this other one on the soundboard.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you have to keep-
thanks guys.
There should
You
be
have to keep
surprises for the soundboard. If we
Yeah,
if we
that does
spend a
that, yeah.
podcast playing with the soundboard, it's not fun anymore.
I will make no such promises.
Yeah, exactly.
I've only heard that one 4 times now.
You're lucky there's only 2 notable Janora quotes.
No,
in
I know,
the
literally the
entire
entire
series. There'd be much
sound
more.
is Sonora.
Yeah, you
I
might
know how
have
this
to.
works.
Does this mean I'm
No.
the master now?
You might have to
That's
like
the
steal
other
some
one.
from
Those are
like
the
Mad
only
Men
two.
and,
Those are the only
like
two.
when Marnie was.
Oh yeah, I could just take Mad Men. Sally Draper Mad Men quotes on the soundboard. I like it. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next
Bye.
week. Bye.